Right. Hello. We're live again here, Steeping Sensei, Wisdom Wednesdays. Like I said, we get live at 6 sharp, but I'm still preparing the space. Let's boil some water. While I'm off camera and getting everything together, I just want to take a moment to thank anybody viewing this, whether it be in the present live or in the future on YouTube. It's you guys are the reason I'm doing this. Sharing the magic. Could be here having tea alone. Pardon my keeping in the tea. Hey, I have a friend who joined me. Abby, what's good? How you doing? I am still getting myself set up over here in just a few moments. Whoa. Yay, I'm here with Abby now, and I'm not alone. Sleeping Sensei is sleeping with me. Hi. I should be able to hear you, in theory. Hold on. I got this on my end. I'm going to make you pop onto the stage real quick. Hello. How you doing?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I watched one of your things on Facebook after it was live, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like really excited to be here, honestly, and be able to be providing this, showing up to the community and doing stuff.
Yeah, I like your tea pets.
Oh my gosh, they're adorable. Thank you. My favorite one is the color changing one. It's new.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
I also have a color changing teapot.
Okay, yeah, nice.
Don't make me go get that. You know what? I was wondering what I was going to make tea in today. I'm going to make tea in that.
Okay, good idea.
But yeah, you're in my headphones, and I got my mic on my neck, so even if I walk away,
okay,
I still hear you.
So how have you been? We went. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Colin's sister.
Of course, I remember you.
Yeah.
You are Colin Rowbottom's system. We got married.
Recently.
I know. Yeah. Wild.
Now in North Carolina.
Married. One day. Not yet.
Yeah.
I feel like we still got a lot of life to live before then.
I know, but like time's a ticking, you know?
I know.
Me too.
I met you when I was 18. Now I'm 30.
I'm going to be 30 in December. Me and my boyfriend broke up in July. So I'm like...
I'm sorry to hear that. That's no fun.
It just sucks.
I've been through many phases like that.
Yeah, restart at 30 is not fun. But...
It's worth it, though. It really is. I've had to restart at 25, 28, and 30. Hard resets.
Yeah.
And getting to 30 and creating that sovereignty inside of myself, best thing I've ever done. I'm living a better life than I've lived.
I'm waiting for that to come.
Ever.
But there's so many changes going on right now in my life with like roommates, jobs, things like that.
I definitely know how that goes. And if I can be here to support, that's really one of these things the community is for. I want to connect with, I guess it's almost weird to say, people who are in the same position that I've been in. And I got to a place where I didn't have homes, didn't have reliable cars, didn't have reliable jobs, terrible roommates, terrible romantic relationships, abuse, etc. And it's
Yeah.
like, you get what you allow in your life.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to say that and have someone say that to you when you're in the position you're in presently. And it's a feeling. It's
Yeah.
hard to explain.
I'm just gonna ask you. You might know something about this. I called my mom today. I was in Walmart grocery shopping, and I just lost my job. Like, I'm kind of going through some stuff. I wanted to get like mushroom supplements to help like boost my mood. I've just been so sad and like depressed, and like I'm on medication for depression and stuff, but like I want an extra boost. So I was there and they had the ashwagandha mushrooms. Ooh, is that your rainwater?
That is rainwater, correct. I haven't
Nice.
even gotten a chance to talk about that yet. I collected this
Sorry.
from yesterday's rainstorm. I had drank all the other rainwater.
Okay. But what do you know about like supplements like that?
A lot, actually. I worked for a health and nutrition company for 8 years.
Yeah.
So
Recommend for like
vitamins, minerals, and balances are one thing.
Yeah.
Mushroom supplementation is kind of a separate thing. And then there's the layer beyond that, which is if you're looking for more microdose psychedelic plant medicine kind of journeys and integration. Which one are we looking at?
Probably like the supplements to start with. I've never done like a big trip or anything. I've tried before, but I didn't ever take enough. So nothing ever happened. But I felt happy, and that's why I think these things will help with my mood and, motivation, just getting me going, not being in such.
Well, whether it's a desire to... Oh, why I have an echo? Is this mic on? Give me one sec. There are herbal and medicinal mushrooms like reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps. Those are going to be in a totally different category. Then there's the psilocybin-containing mushrooms.
Psychotropic or anything. I just want something that I could take daily that's not gonna like interfere with anything. Just something to like help boost my, like a vitamin. Like I'm just looking for like something you could buy at Walmart or something.
Something I recommend pretty highly is, it sounds cheesy, but really looking at your diet, really looking at, before I can make any suggestions or recommendations, like we should talk after this too.
Okay.
It's officially 6:15, so I'm going to get rolling in just a moment.
Okay.
But to finish my thought, energy, a lot of people attribute it to the body and to the nutrition and to what we're taking. Our body goes through waves of energy. So our mind controls our body. And depending on where our mind is and the mental load that we have will often determine how much energy we have. And to start with the mental rather than diving specifically into the physical, I would say, what are your habits? And you don't have to answer right now. We can talk about it. Just something to think about. I was very lethargic, very devoid of energy for weeks, months. And I thought it was nutrition. I thought it was working out. Really, it was my mindset. It was despair and lack of hope and uncertainty, not truly trusting my faith center, which you don't have to be 100% sure about your faith to have faith. You can be exploring it still. And
I like
spirituality
rather than faith. Like
I like that too.
Spiritual.
That's fine. But any sector of spirituality, for me, faith is a different type of word than spirituality, because spirituality is in the here and now. And faith can be in the here and now, but faith, for me, to rid myself of depression, anxiety, it's faith in the future. Faith that whatever's out there, devoid of any dogma, which is the result of thinking with other people's thinking, the lineage that's been passed down to us, thinking with that, being able to extrapolate ourselves from that and start thinking with our own brain. So where energy comes from, and the whole world around us is saying everything's awful. People like our age are never going to be able to afford houses and stable jobs, and the country's falling. Like that brings us down. And then something like losing a job and breaking up with your partner, or separating rather, it's all up here just as much as it's in your body. One of the things I recommend for energy is whether it be breath work, yoga, tai chi, somatic breathing, journaling. There's a bunch of things that'll help move the energy out of here so that you can have more energy here, and vice versa. Move the energy out of here so you can have more energy. Makes sense?
Yeah,
and as far as supplementation goes,
but I thought you would know about the different types and stuff.
For mushrooms specifically, or for all kinds of vitamins?
Like ashwagandha, it said it was supposed to help promote like mood and clarity.
I highly recommend my concoction, if I could choose and had all the money in the world to take them every day, which I don't have, and I don't take these regularly. I wish I could.
Okay.
It would be reishi, lion's mane, cordyceps, ashwagandha as a superfood, spirulina, the blue stuff, as a superfood. I'm missing one. Moringa.
Moringa. I didn't think that was a mushroom.
It's not. Actually, the ones I put on this hand are not mushrooms. So you got cordyceps. Is ashwagandha a mushroom? Am I wrong?
I thought it was some sort of...
It's very possible.
I don't know much about this.
I'm not fully educated in that area. The areas I do know...
We learned about... Well. But anyway, I can chat with
B12 is a huge thing. If you're not taking B12, I would look into an extended release B12 vitamin.
I do, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good start. And for energy, tea. I mean, yes, water as well, alone. And good water sources. If you're only drinking purified water, it strips your body of minerals.
Drink from the tap.
So tap is, I would say try to have a balance between purified and spring if you can.
Yeah.
Not that I do it all the time, but I highly recommend knowing where your water source is and getting something like Zephyr Hills, which I don't necessarily support.
Zephyr Hills is yucky.
But it's straight spring water. I've swam in the spring.
But anyway, I'll let you get on with your thing. I've been taking too much time. I'm sorry.
Good. Yeah. But let's do, I can dilly-dally a little bit. We'll talk about things that other people are going to need to hear too. And it's funny, I started the live stream while I was setting up. I meant to just start the room while I was setting up so we could chat, but we've been on live. Okay.
Nice.
Am I allowed to say that? I'm allowed to say whatever I want. This is my live stream.
Yeah.
Well, it is now 6:20. I've given 5 minutes for the lollygaggers to catch up with us. And welcome to our part 2 of Wisdom Wednesdays. Today, inspired by Abby, I'm going to be making tea in this beautiful little teapot here. It is purple clay from China. It is gorgeous. I've seen the process of these being handmade. Mind-blowing, honestly. If there's any audio technical difficulties, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or StreamYard, just shoot me a message. I should see the comments pop up. And let's get started. So this is, I want to ask you to say thank you to the water. Thank you, water. I love you, water. I don't know if you have been familiarized with Dr. Emoto out of Japan. He did a study about how you speak to water and the energy that it absorbs. Fascinating study. I would highly recommend you seeing it. Pardon the beeping sound. I'm going to mute myself while Teapot yells at me. While the tea heats up the water, I want to A, talk about where the source of the water is from, which Abby already hit on, and B, talk about water as the element, how it's in our body, how it's all around us, and specifically the energy that it carries. So Dr. Emoto was a scientist who did research on water very deeply. And he did these experiments where he would freeze water after speaking nicely to some water and poorly to the other water. And the crystalline structures of those water snowflakes and the ice crystals that formed, the ones that were spoken with love, like "I love you, water," "You're beautiful," "Thank you," these crystal formations were a fully different variety of beautiful than the chaotic, abrupt, and non-properly formed ice crystals of the water that you speak ill to. And then we repeated this experiment in the US. I forget exactly who did it, but with food. And they did jars of food in glass jars. Same exact temperature, same location. One was spoken to poorly, one was spoken to positively. And the food that was in the other jar that was spoken poorly to spoiled way quicker. It's just fascinating. And Abby and I were on the topic of talking about energy. And it's weird to realize how it all connects. It's our biology, it's our nutrition, it's our mindset, it's the water, it's everything. Now, the podcast I'm going to be teaching in is the Water and Wisdom podcast. It's going to be on Spotify and all the other platforms, including Apple. We're going to dive deeper into the 5 elements: water, earth, air, fire, and ether, which is the 5th element of spirituality and Eastern wisdom. And I believe that integrating an awareness over these elements in your life can bring a more holistic balance. Holistic being in all areas of your life, feeling that instead of one area going up and down, you can keep the balance as things rise. And I speak from personal experience because I did not always have good energy, good demeanor, good life circumstances. There were struggles. There are still struggles. And I just want to remind you that you're capable of getting through this, that the day I turned 30, and it could be 40 or 50 or 60 for you, but everything's gone up since then. And I've been through some of the darkest darkness that I don't want to think about or talk about, but it happened. It happens to all of us. At some point, the darkness touches us. Sometimes it gets inside of us. That's why we drink tea, to release it. Tea is known as antioxidant, energetic, lots of other things. All right, water is boiled. We get to decide what we're drinking today. I've got about 6 different tea shops that I love. And I guess while I decide, I'll talk to you about them. So this is the Path of Tea. They are very shiny and reflective. Path of Tea is in Houston, Texas. This is a Japanese black tea. And the Japanese don't often make black teas, but when they do, it is imbued with cherry blossoms. In fact, so I picked this up just because of the variety and the rarity of it. I like to pick up teas that are more on the rare side of the spectrum, even though I do enjoy just your normal green tea. And for those of you who don't know, this is a lightsaber, because I am a Jedi. That's a discussion for another day. This is called Sakura Black, Japanese black tea. Now, if you ever get the chance to make it out to Portland, Oregon, I highly recommend checking out the Tao of Tea, or the Tao of Tea. One of my favorite tea shops on earth, and I would like to own something like that one day, just manifesting. I wish you could smell this with me. Oh, it does not smell like a normal black tea. I'm excited. So now, if you're brewing tea and if you're looking to dive down this rabbit hole, you must know that not all tea is created equal. Loose leaf tea is not exclusively the best tea, but sourcing your tea is going to create a better relationship with your tea time. Coffee is one of the #1 sprayed pesticide elements on Earth, and tea follows up pretty close, depending on where you're getting your tea from. Tea bags are massively produced sources of tea. A lot of this is small batch tea. All right, I'm going to turn the music up and do a few moments of silence while I do this. I invite you to take some breaths. Tea. The first cup of tea goes to my tea pad. This is for the ones we've lost, my father and many others along the way. So, I am very interested in doing tea ceremonies about what you guys are interested in. So that's going to take comments and interaction. And people joining me next Wednesday and the Wednesday after that. Right now, these are scheduled until the end of the year. So we're looking at through December. I'm excited to share these moments with you guys. There's a lot of wisdom that we have to share, but I want to remind you guys that I am not the teacher here. I'm still the student. Tea is the teacher. Time is the teacher. We're here to learn together. I haven't mastered anything besides maybe the art of making a good tea. but there's still much more to learn. And I'm excited to learn it together. All right, it is 6:32. We're going to talk about today, guys. Happy, any ideas? I can dive down any rabbit hole, but being that I have a human interaction here.
Yeah, I mean, I had a nice day. I went grocery shopping, and you're tall, right? There was one thing that happened in the grocery store that a lady didn't ask me, but she asked this other tall guy to reach something for her. And I just thought about how much I love it. They ask me to reach for something for that. Like, that just makes me feel good that, like, I can do it.
Very funny, and it's actually I'm glad that you said that, because I said, what are we going to talk about today? Somebody probably about 2 weeks ago talked to me about this, and I both satirically and dead seriously said that if someone asks me to get something from the top shelf, I'll stop for a moment and I'll feel out the situation. If they're an old lady in a rush, I'll just get it from the top shelf and keep my mouth shut. But quite often I'll say, hey, I'd be happy to get it from the top shelf from you. But is there anything on the bottom shelf that you can get for me? Like, would that be okay? Because it's my goal in life to remind people of the juxtaposition between how we view things that are okay and how the opposite of it is not okay. It would be rude for me to ask a short person, hey, can you get that off the ground? Because I dropped it and closer to the ground.
But if it wasn't provoked, then yeah, rude.
Yeah, and I do so kindly, jokingly, not dead serious. But when we came up in this conversation, someone's like, you really say that? Yeah? It's I mean, we can't take life too seriously. I think that's another reason why energy gets sapped from our bodies and our minds. We're not playing enough. I can't tell you as a 30-year-old adult how often I play. Often. I'm not talking video games. Like, with my connections with people, like real, actual. Okay, I don't want to diss video games. I have played them. I still do every now and then, and they can be social. So when I say real social interaction, I don't mean to be disrespectful or derogative. But real human interaction, while playful energy is alive in all of us, it's one of the reasons I love fire spinning, music festivals, going to the beach with friends, playing volleyball, or swimming in the ocean. Activating that playful energy brings wonder to our life, and wonder brings energy to our life. Having this childlike state of, wow, I have a whole new day to explore. Who am I going to run into? What am I going to do? How can I make today meaningful for me? Not just for everyone else. Not what I'm supposed to be doing. What do I want to do? And for me, a calling is a calling. It doesn't just go away. There's something inside of all of us that calls to us quiet. Louder and louder if we don't listen. Sometimes it's very easy to ignore that call, where we feel we're supposed to be, what we feel we're supposed to be doing. I feel like we must listen to that quiet voice inside of ourselves. Faith and God don't have to be outside of us. Spirituality and all the other spectrums. I'm here primarily to talk about the dead center of those things, philosophy. Philosophies that can commingle together, like Buddhism, Taoism. Most of the Abrahamic religions can cohabitate the same body healthily as something like Taoism and Buddhism. They don't contradict. There is a religion of Buddhism, and then there is a philosophy of Buddhism. Same with Taoism. The beads and the monks and the mala and the pilgrimages to the top of the mountain, that's more the religion side of things. The philosophy side of things, the Tao is called the way. But really, it is the way of nature, which is also the way of science, if it's true science. I'm grounded in science. I was an engineering background. I through Calculus 3. I studied architectural design and physics and chemistry and biology. I just intimately know how these things all connect and how it's meaningful to the spiritual side of things. If we're going back to what Abby was inquiring about, it's an energy source. It does come down to what we're consuming. It does come down to our nutrition. If that's deficient, you're going to have deficiencies in energy. But as we tune those things up, if we still have deficiencies in energy, we need to look at the spirit. I think that's very important because it's easy to overlook. So if you happen to have tea with me, take a moment to enjoy it, sip it, smell it. This was too hot until right now. And this is my first time enjoying this tea. So thank you for being with me. Mm-hmm.
How is that tea? How does it taste?
I brewed it low temperature and just spilled it all over me. Thankfully, I brewed it low temperature. So in Chinese tea ceremony, typically the first batches will be a little bit lighter. As I move forwards through tea ceremony, I'll raise the temperature and the steep time to get more flavor out of it. If you noticed at the beginning when I steeped the tea, I steeped this for 60 seconds or less. Now, the tea that's right here is going to be a way more full-bodied tea than what I'm drinking. But the reason you do that is you get to get the subtleties. So I can definitely smell the flower on it. The Japanese cherry blossom that is in this black tea. Typically a black tea will have a lot more body than this. This almost drinks like an herbal tea. It's very light. What am I calling this? Yeah, it's almost clear. So I can bring the temperature up to get more of the tea out of it. But one of the structures that I like to incorporate in my tea ceremony is each time you steep this tea, it's going to bring a different flavor out of it. First time it's lower temperature, shorter steep. You do longer steep, low temperature. You do higher temperature, short steep, and higher temperature, long steep, as you continue to extract the tea. This is amazing. And if you're looking for energy in your life, respectfully and thankfully, we have things like tea. Coffee's great, but the caffeine, it's not as biologically compatible for long-term energy. So if you are a coffee drinker, I highly recommend trying tea. If you don't drink tea or coffee, I would say obviously ease into anything new with caffeine. You don't want to start an addiction. But it's much harder to get addicted to caffeine in tea form than it is in coffee form. It's just biologically, chemically slightly different. That being said, green teas are more Chinese medicine. Come to me now. I gotta do the research before I say that out loud. Green. To hold myself and reverse them. In traditional Chinese medicine, green tea is used as a stimulant. Black tea is also used to improve mental alertness and is also said to help with headaches, blood pressure, and other conditions. Oxidations. Okay, here we go. In Chinese medicine, green tea is considered cooling, and black tea is considered warming. So green tea is more of a grounding effect, whereas black tea is more of an air, like an energizing, creating that space in your life. So I typically don't even start my days with caffeine. I start drinking tea around noon. I'll drink herbal teas in the morning because that's just my biology. Some people are different and they do drink tea or coffee in the morning. Now, if you want to keep long-term vitality, I do recommend caffeine's great. just be aware of your intake. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you're eating good foods. Drink as much caffeine as you want, and stop around 6 p.m. Long story short, this tea is delicious, and it's going to only get more delicious. Oh yeah, this one has color to it. I want to take a moment to shout out my platforms. Thank you to StreamYard. Thank you to Facebook. All the other places that I get to show up. YouTube. It's wild. I can teach people how to start a whole brand and do their own marketing, podcast. It's wild. I got to create something out of thin air just because I said so. Yeah, I don't really know what else I have to talk about today. Make a quick podcast. Let's see if there's anybody else with comments. Yeah, I'll take a second to shout out myself on all the different platforms and what the plan is. I have a vision for YouTube Shorts and TikToks to be fun, quick snippets, pretty things. Towards my weekly live cast, have slot people become faithful like Abby is, and Abby's audio tied in, and I see her down here on my computer over there, which is pretty fun. I have like real humans here with me. Instead of seeing the number next to my face, eyeballs rise. Oh, look, we had somebody new join. First, I get to experience this technology, experience this sharing, see how many people I can touch. I've had a few videos go past 1,000 views already. I know that's not a lot, but it's more than a couple hundred. I always get shocked when I have something 200, 500 views on a video. That's the foundation for entry level here. But next time I won't run out of things to talk about because you guys will all think about questions to ask me and put comments in the Facebook so I can get further sharing. I didn't create a curriculum for my Wisdom Wednesdays. The wisdom is the tea. The wisdom is showing up. And I just want to thank anybody else who is interested in tea because that's just such a cool community to have. I've never had a conversation. I don't hear gossip from over tea, tea ceremony. You know, each little pocket of people talking about wonderful things. Spirituality, yoga, breathwork, body practices, somatic healing, sensual sexual healing, like tantra work, study mythologies, philosophies, spiritualities. Steeping Sensei is here to bring it all together in one place. If you click on the website, it'll show you a little bit about what we're up to and what's to come. But it's the integration of Taoism, yogic philosophies, several Japanese philosophies, several Chinese philosophies. And as it comes together, it's shaped my spiritual journey. I didn't grow up with faith, religion, spirituality. Money, sex, and God was not talked about in the house. Not talked about at all. So, what are we to do? One doesn't know where to go to find the answers yourself. You begin to trust your own discernment rather than the loud noises of social media, news. And when we get in touch with that intuition, it's magical. And I can say that very astutely from a place of having been disconnected from my intuition at times in my life. There are people out there that they don't even realize it. It's not a conscious want. Maybe it's a need. And it's sad. They say hurt people hurt people. It's true. But the opposite is also true. Healed people heal people. And I can only heal others and heal myself. And I have done that. It's taken work. Having lived with things that I don't even realize are real sometimes. Horror stories plague most humans on Earth. We live them, and they do, and they take our vitality, and they make it. And I think if we can overcome those mental conversations while we work on the physical and think about the spiritual, continue to process our belief systems and live life, we'll create a better life in all areas. We have to realize we are not our results. That which we have created in the life around us, that which we've been given by life, whether it be the good or the bad, we are not those things. Not our thoughts. We are something from them. We are the observer. We are a spirit in a meat suit. And I know that sounds weird, but you're not supposed to take it all seriously. You're a spirit in a meat suit. Congratulations. Yeah. Humor saved my life. And the darker the things I overcame, the funnier I got for some reason. I don't know why, but it's true. And I really encourage you guys. I'm here to connect. So, like Abby's on here, FaceTime. It's not FaceTime. Face to face on StreamYard, and more empty slots. People can join me face to face. More people can join on YouTube. It's going to be exciting to build this community of people who that we have something to grow in. And then in a year or two, grow in those areas, hold each other accountable, and hold each other's hands through this. Yeah. Music up, do a little bit more tea. See if anybody else has any. So tune into my computer for a while. continue to learn new things about how to use this technology. I'm going to feature this one screen. Zoom in. Several people tell me tests are an idea in Chinese tea ceremony because they're like a friends to sit to when you're doing ceremony. It does sound a little cheesy, but being cheesy is okay. Hey, my friend. I'm going over here. It's a bracket. My panda's the coolest, though. I'll tell you this. Alright, guys. Ready to enjoy the magic? There's my new color changing teapots. I've been here just short of an hour now. Maybe I'm going to make Wednesdays shorter, or maybe I'm going to need more of you guys to come hang out with me so that we won't run out of topics to talk about. I'm excited for the second steep of black tea, because this is actually 195. The first steep was at 170 or 165-ish. Now that we're on the topic, I have something to talk about. The timing for which you steep your tea, as well as the temperature. You can drink real good tea and make it taste terrible. If you boil your tea, you are not only reaping some of the health benefits, whether it be herbal or otherwise, but you are diluting the flavors. So, finish myself. Green tea brewed at 175. White tea brewed at 185. Oolong tea brews around 195. I'm not brewing my black tea between 195 and 205 degrees. I know a lot of people that drink green tea. They'll go to the restaurant with tea bags and water. Typically, the water that comes out of the restaurant instant hot is well to 100 degrees. By the time it gets to the table, it's probably 190 at least. And they put the tea bag sometimes in it and sometimes right next to the cup. Most people don't think about the fact they could probably drop a piece of ice into their hot water before brewing their tea. It sounds counterintuitive, but it brings it to a more optimal temperature for tea brewing. Otherwise, you get very bitter, astringent flavors. I have 5 comments on. That's how I find my comments. See, we're still learning things. Somebody said, ashwagandha is a plant, not a mushroom. There we go. Their name is Scissor Hands. I love that. Like Edward. I wonder who this is. If they're just a random who met, saw me somehow. Not a name I recognize. Let's see. So, yeah, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And this cup in my left hand here is called a fairness cup, or a gong dao. Gong dao cup is to create an even balance. So if I was to pour this pot across 5, 6, or 8 cups of tea, the first cup would be the lightest, and the last cup would be the darkest and most flavorful, because the tea actually settles to the bottom of the cup. Sorry, flavor settles to the bottom of the cup. One more magic trick. So I'm here every Wednesday to join you for tea. Get done with my busy day. I eat a little bit of food. I'm here to hang out with you. And then after that, I go to the Delray Beach Drum Circle, dance, hang out. So, if you're not part of the Delray Beach Drum Circle, check it out. If you're not in South Florida, anytime you're in South Florida, you come say hi. It's worth it. You're going there for 12 years. That's some of the best people in the world. Delray Beach Drum Circle. We all need a place for community. And that's why I made this. It's a place for community online. There's no substitute for community in person. But here we are utilizing technology to create connection rather than the stereotypical disconnection. Oh yeah, this one tastes much more like a black tea now. It still has sweet notes. I think it's because I'm still brewing it at a low temperature. I brewed this time at 180. And my last steam, which I'm keep water now, will be at 200 degrees. I'm decaffeinating myself for the evening. Oh, you know what? While we're on the topic of mushrooms during this particular cast, I had some misconceptions about mushroom tea. I also had some misconceptions that I had dispelled about microdosing. There is a such thing as sub-psychedelic mushroom experiences. So you can have macro doses that will be in the realm of psychedelic, and then you can have non-psychedelic experiences as well. No web coming out. That was close. Those classic beginners are so expensive too. I got these ones for free. I let to replace them because I did break one. I don't understand how you sell these for like $60. I almost dropped a piece of black on the ground. The mushroom experience can be sub-psychedelic, and it can even be sub-experiential. Your body knows that it's there, but your mind won't realize. And that's in doses in the 1 category. I'm talking like 20th of what you'll take. I do believe that deeper psychedelic experience can be very healing when done with awareness, healthy use of plant medicine, and not relying on it for the feelings, but helping remind us that those good feelings are in our body and are available. I do so both ceremonially and socially. I'm here to individuals who are interested. I do tea ceremonies both in the purely category as well as I do medicine being integrated into the tea. So a lot of different options for integration processes with plant medicine. A lot of people are talking about things like Not peyote, that's not what I'm looking for. That's a word. I'm blanking on it right now. One of the plant medicines everyone's talking about that it's supposed to heal you, it's supposed to save your life. I see people go back and do it over and over. Combo. And totemism. So both combo and Ubo is from a frog. But these medicines are there to purge the system, both physically and spiritually, emotionally. And I don't recommend anybody goes through these experiences without a lot of research and a lot of patience. It's like my first psychedelic mushroom experience was with a lot of research and patience. I didn't just say, "Oh, let's go." People do that, and it can become psychologically addicting. You want that high again. You realize that high is available in our sober life. If you've never done deep breathwork practices, I've done some men's circles and other leadership groups where, oh wow, breathwork, you will get so high on your breath, more than you can even think possible. Just breath. And if that's possible with just breath, what else is possible to make? That's what I want to challenge you this week. Go ahead, get into your body. If you're finding yourself tired, restless, or the opposite, well, I guess tired and restless are opposites. Completely lethargic and kind of distressed. Some people can't sleep. I know I go through those phases. Getting into your body is huge for that. Your body will tell you what it needs if you listen. I know a lot of people who have been vegans who their body just yells at them and says, I know people that started taking certain vitamins because their body was just telling them. And they did a little bit of research. They're like, oh, that must be what it is. And I very highly encourage you to, with either medical practitioners or holistic nutritional practitioners, people who have experience, unless you're going to do very proper research. Listen. And that's number one, for creating and cultivating a space where your intuition serves to tap into the wisdom within us. Skipping Sensei is about creating a community of people who are looking to tap into their own teacher inside of yourself, or your Sensei awaits you. That's what it says right on my Facebook, Instagram, and website. He is our portal to start the conversation about all the other wisdoms of the world. And I'll wrap it up with this. I'll remind us, my mission is to bring awareness that if you track T through time, you're tracking wealth, wisdom, and philosophies of the world. The quick journey is out of China into Japan with Buddhist monks. Out of Japan, back into China, through China into Tibet, into India, out of Turkey into Spain and the Western world. Tea is integrated deeply into 80-90% of the cultures in the world are drinking some type of tea. And then there is all the herbal varieties all over the world. A lot of these can be made into teas. A lot of these can be consumed in other ways as well. But I will never specifically focus on the Camellia sinensis true tea plant, which makes white tea, black tea, most of the teas that we prepare in tea. There's a million herbal teas that I couldn't make a list of. And maybe your body needs those. I would say do some research into herbal blends that are vitality bringing, health bringing. Moringa is one we were talking about earlier. You can make that into a tea. And that is absolutely true. Spirulina is another one. I don't believe I'm saying that right. Blue, and it's pretty. Blue lotus and butterfly pea flower while we're on the list of blue things. Again, two herbs that turn your tea blue and are good for the body. So that's a short list. There's a long list available, but it's not in my head right now. Private chat. Yeah, I saw that. I can do this with my camera. I can like zoom in. I gotta remember when I do the tea pouring to zoom back out. Alright, I'm gonna do this. Technology side of things, please wait. Can't quite figure it out now, but my next live stream, I'm going to pop into my website and walk you guys through some of the things that are going there, as well as our in-person events we're going to have upcoming. We have a ceremony at a health and thought retreat that is going to be teaching fire spinning and flow arts at Miami. That's in October. We also have the Cocoa Fest, which is mid-October as well. I think 25th, 23rd. We have several different in-person events coming up. And honestly, I just want more. I want to see you guys. I want to make tea with you. I want your interaction. I'm curious what you guys are looking to get out of life that you have. I'm here to convince you that this community plus tea, help me get it. Friendship, check. Romantic relationships and healthy communication, check. Energy and vitality, check. Health and fitness, check. Business development, check. Online branding and marketing, check. Adorableness, check. And happy block. And my lightsaber. And my squishmallow. We are all here on this earth together to have a good time. And I think we're all stuck not having that great of a time. So let's do that thing. Let's do it together. And I'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. I don't believe I have any in-person events till then. Always like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the follows on both YouTube and Facebook/Instagram. Remember, if you're going to follow, to like as well, because there are separate buttons. Just interact, ask questions. If you got my phone number, use it. I'd love to hear from you. And Abby, who is on my StreamYard with me, let's chat sometime. I know we were playing phone tag a little bit. We'll do so again. I'm actually about to be in the car for about 25 minutes, so I'll call you once I get the wheels up if you open. And it's got a lot of magic to create. Oh, cool! I can change my brand colors. Let's get here with me as I discover things. We're just gonna keep doing these things. That's fun. Okay, I get to see your face again, and we get to say bye. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here with me today. Yeah, definitely. I'll talk to you in like 20-30 minutes or so. Everybody else, bye. Later, guys. The end.